Shalom Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kakodash, double honor to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, and shalom to leg out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. All right, and I got put on to this article, about this show, called Married at First Sight, and pretty much this show in which people, two completely different strangers, are being matched up, to get married on the same day in which they meet, and they have a certain period of time to see if the marriage works, and at the end of that time, they see if they want to stay together or if they want to get a divorce, right? And the most interesting thing about this article that I was put on to is that, as you can see from the title, right, it says Married at First Sight's Pastor Kyle, this Jake dude here, says black men who audition don't want black women. This is from Atlantic Black Star, and I found this so funny, because we know how the scriptures speak upon the woman, especially the woman of our nation, and ultimately, we know how the black woman is, man, because, hey, man, because I don't, man, these women out here, man, there's something else, man. They're truly something else, especially when it comes down to the so-called black woman, man. Nothing but a damn headache to so-called black man, all right? Yeah, Salakia. But, yeah, so I'm going to read some of this article, and I'm going to bring out a few scriptures pertaining unto this. Damn. Salakia. So I'll read the title again. It says, Married at First Sight, Pastor Cal says black men who audition don't want black women. Now, let's see what this article was talking about. All right, it says, some might be surprised that there's so many people willing to marry a perfect stranger on the show Married at First Sight. But that's the case every season. If you're not familiar with the series, relationship experts select 6 men and women who don't know each other and marry them off. The first time the couples actually see each other is at the altar before they exchange vows in front of their families. During an interview, Pastor Cal, one of the relationship experts on the show, a goddamn relationship expert, man. Relationships should be ran by the ways of the scriptures, man. If everything was done according to that, we wouldn't have all this confusion. We wouldn't need no goddamn relationship experts. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that, man. The woman being given so much damn power within the society is the main reason why we need people need so-called relationship experts, man. When all that should be governed by the Most High. So it says, during an interview, Pastor Cal, one of the relationship experts on the show, spoke about the selection process and how those who audition had to go through intense questioning. And during that Q&A process, a lot of black men said they wanted to marry someone outside of their race, which the pastor finds problematic. How can I say this? He began. Here's a big problem I have. One of the big problems we have on the show when we're trying to match is finding black men who want black women. I can say that, and that's a problem. But I believe it's bigger than Married at First Sight. Of course it is, man. Because it's the overall nature of the so-called black woman against the man, man. Period. And it's the curses, it's all these different things that are placed upon these women, and how Esau turned her out, man, into his biggest whore. And to have her think that we are truly the enemy, man. It says there's something in our society where we've been affected by this whole colorism thing. Pastor Cal added, it's not about no colorism thing, man. It's the wickedness of the so-called black woman, man. And it's sort of like a survival of the fittest type thing. I want to be on the side that's winning. So it's a very serious thing. Oh, damn. Okay. Yeah, it pervades our society. It's there and it's uncomfortable, but we're all victims of it. He don't know what the hell he's talking about. It ain't about no colorism thing. The so-called black woman was in her proper order, her proper mind, how she's supposed to be, You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have this problem, man. Says elsewhere in the interview, Pastor Cal said he and the producers get a lot of requests for older same-sex and interracial couples to be on the show. With same-sex couples, and that's ridiculous, same-sex couples. He said it would be a logistical challenge, but they're not opposed to it. It's wickedness, man. In regards to marrying an interracial couple, they tried repeatedly but haven't been able to do so because some who audition are more enthusiastic about the idea than others. As far as interracial, I would love to see an interracial couple, said the pastor. We've tried every season to do that. It's very difficult when it comes to black men and white women. We can find black men who want white women. We can't find as many white women who want black men. Okay, so they said this is the problem that they're having. And truth be told, you do have a lot of so-called white women that love black men. It's just the type of so-called white women, that they're going after, because they're going after, the kind of prestigious, the real sedity ones, you know what I'm saying, that grew up, you know what I'm saying, with that hatred for Jake, according to their families and how they were raised up, man. So that's why a lot of these so-called white women not looking for Jake pertaining into this show, because we know outside of this, man, you eating white women love a Jake, man. You know what I'm saying? But it says we have all these guys. I mean, I've heard guys, and I think you see them on previous seasons, guys who said, hey, I prefer white women. Then my thing is white women don't prefer you, and so that's a problem. And with the black man white woman scenario, I'm not saying that across the board, just in the cases that I've seen that it may be. And he sees the same thing among black women who audition too. So vice versa, you got the nigger woman that don't want Jake either. So this is all what pertains into the curses, man, right? I'm just reading the rest of this a little bit. It says, and then on the other side, when you have black women and white men, I've seen black women who may want white men, but I haven't seen a lot of white men who put on their profiles that I want a black woman, said Pastor Cal. So it really comes down to a vice versa thing. But the main point of the article was the fact that more Jake men, don't want to deal with the so-called black woman, man. And I perfectly understand, man. Us being in the truth, we perfectly understand why. It's not because no damn colorism thing. It's because these women are fucking wicked as all hell, man. That's the reason, man. Right? So it says, Deuteronomy 28:56, and truth be told, these so-called black women, they ain't women, man. They fucking beasts, man. Right? Deuteronomy 28:56, it says, the tender and delicate woman among you, which will not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and toward her daughter. So this shows you right there and here, man. That the so-called black woman is not delicate, man. And her eyes evil toward her husband and toward her children, man. Period. So ultimately, man, on majority, these so-called black women are beasts, man. You know what I'm saying? You may have it's a rare occasion, that you can find one that's actually decent, man. A very rare occasion, man. It's like finding a damn needle in a haystack, man, with these so-called black women, right? And real quick, because I want to go to the book of Proverbs, the 7th chapter. And I want to hit Proverbs 7. And I start at verse 7. It says, and beheld among the simple ones, I discern among the youths a young man void of understanding. And you have a lot of, Jakes out here is void of understanding when it comes into these women. But being in this truth, we truly learn the nature of our women, why they are the way they are. And us growing up, thinking that, things are supposed to be a certain way. But, hey, man, these black women, they show you the total opposite, man. When you try to do right by them, they want the complete damn opposite, man. And they get a little bit of power, they take it to their heads, and they try to run over you, man. All according to what? The curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, in the scripture in which I just read, man. Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, right? It says, verse 8 says, passing through the street near her corner. Hey, man, they corner girls, man. And he went the way to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of heart. When you look at these women nowadays, man, look at how they dress, man. They're not dressed in modest apparel as a woman should be dressed. You know, they trying to dress in such a provocative manner so they can get all these attention from every damn man that walks down the street, man. You know, like one of these YouTubers say, he says, all women are attention whores, man, and especially the so-called black women, man. You don't see a whole lot of Edomite women dressed in the way that, or women of other nations dressed in the same manner that a so-called black woman would dress, man, because she's a complete slut, man. All right. It says, verse 11, it says, she is loud and stubborn, her feet abideth not in her house. So this is one of the main reasons why Jake men don't want a so-called black woman according to the show, because they know the nature of the so-called black woman. She don't tend to her house. She's loud, she's stubborn, she's going to kick up, she's not going to respect you and give you the proper respect that you deserve as a man, as the head of the household. They want to be the head of the household, man. But what do the scriptures say in reference to that, man? In the book of Genesis, the 3rd chapter, where I wanted to go. Genesis 3:16, it says, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception in Slaki. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So this is natural order of things in a place that women should be in the role that the man plays when it comes to this whole man-woman thing, man. It's an order, an arrangement, that the way that the Most High set up so there wouldn't be any goddamn confusion, man. The desire of a woman, meaning what? What's your desires? The things that you want, the things that you long for. So everything that a woman longs for, she's supposed to go into her husband and get that, man. Period. You know, they have this thing within the society. They try to create an egalitarian society, which pretty much meaning, you know, that everyone is all equal. You know, but at the end of the day, a woman that try to say that she's equal to a man, but then when it come down to it, or with the groceries, oh yeah, can you get that for me, or can you do this for me, or why you looking for me to help you with this? Ain't you equal according to the society? Don't you have the same strength as a man according to the society? If we all equal, right? But that's the nature of the so-called black woman, man. And furthermore, they bald-headed as hell, man. Nobody want no bald-headed ass woman, man. You want your woman with long flowing hair, man, because that's what the glory of the woman. But the so-called black woman being so proud and the curse being upon them, what? The Most High stripped them from that, man. So this is the book of Sirach, 26 and 25. Well, I started verse 23. It says, matter of fact, I started at verse 22. It says, and harlot shall be accounted as spittle. And that's the average so-called black woman, man. Especially with this social media and stuff nowadays. And harlot shall be accounted as spittle. But a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Where a woman that's in her proper estate, you know, that knows the natural order of things, and that has respect, that has dignity for herself, and the way she dresses, the way she carries herself, the way she holds down her household, man. A wicked woman is given in portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. So, hey, man, these guys on the show, they're very wise that are seeking so-called white women. They're wise because they see, you know, the evil. They foresee the evil with the so-called black woman, so they're trying to escape that, man. They know it's going to end up in divorce, man. Right? Verse 24 says, a dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. Exactly. Verse 25, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord, man. And that's the main thing. She that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. But what? A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. So all you women that don't have no shame about you, that go about gadding about in the streets, that don't have no proper respect for the natural order of things, the way the Most High set up things, and you boasting with all of this big-headed ass pride that's been given to you by the so-called white man, you shall be counted as a dog, man. Period. So where did they get the term calling a woman a bitch from? From the scriptures, man. Shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, man. Period, man. And that's the average so-called black woman that's out there, man. You know? And like I said, I just had to do something on this because I found this so funny and just it's so true, man. It's so true. You know? Hey, we should all be wanting to escape the so-called black woman in this time period. They ain't gonna be right into the kingdom, man. You know? So, you know, with that, you know, I just hope this short segment was edifying. And I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to Lek out there doing this work of faith, and labor of love, truth, sincerity. Shalom.